So you want to write a game in Python and you want to put the score on the screen. How do you do that? Let's find out. So we're starting off with our usual setup with a screen defined, full screen. We've got a pause at the end so we can see what's happened. And now we want to render up a font. So we're going to use Pygame's font package. Pygame.font, and in there's a class called font. And when you create one of those, you have to give it two parameters. The first one is the font file to load, and we're not going to do that now. We're going to say you haven't got a font file. What do? Well, Pygame makes it easy. You can put none and it'll pick up the Pygame default font. And then you want the size of the font, that's the number of pixels high that each character will be. Let's go for quite a large number, 100. So that defines a font, but it doesn't put one on the screen. What you need to do is render a particular message written in that font. So the way we do that is we're going to use font.render. Now you can look online for the documentation for this. This is the font.render, draws text on a new surface. So the first parameter is the text that you're going to write. The second parameter is a boolean, true or false, and you're going to anti-alias it. This will make it smooth. If you don't anti-alias it, you have jagged edges. I would recommend always going for true. Color, the color you want that text to be in, and an optional parameter, the background color. We're going to leave that as it is. It will just be transparent if you leave it as none. So we're going to try and render a message. Let's render our score 1000. Anti-alias, let's put true, and then a color, let's just put it in white. And that will render it as a surface, and then we want to draw that surface on the screen. So that's the blitting process. Let's just do that directly. Screen.blit. So we're going to copy that surface of that font text onto the screen. But we need to give it a location where we're going to do that. Let's put it at 50,100. And I've made a mistake there. PyCharm is trying to warn me that I'm not allocated that to a variable font equals. So we create our font, and that is pointed to by that font there, and then we use that font to render the message that we want to put on the screen. And always we have to remember to flip the display. Right, let's see what happens. There we go, it's drawn it on the screen. That's great. So that's how you will draw things on the screen using the default font. If you happen to have a font file, and you can very easily download one, here I've got a font file I've downloaded, ferrum.otf. It's an open type font file, so PyCharm does actually know how to load those. So let's have a go at that so you can get more interesting fonts. I'm going to need to use OS because I'm going to pick this font relative to the location of this current file. So we're going to try and build up a font file name, and the way we're going to do that is os.path, the name, and we're using the magic variable _file, dunder file. That will be the current file. I just want its directory name, and then we want to join that with the relative path. Now I had that in fonts /ferrum/ferrum.otf. That was just the name of that file, and we have to use join, os path join. That'll build up a new file path to that text, that file with the font in it, and font_file. We're going to use that So that now should build as a file path, tell font to load that file, assign that to font, render that with this particular message, and then blit that to this place on the screen. And there we go, with slightly more interesting fonts. So those are the basics of how you draw text. Pretty easy really with PyCharm to put text on the screen. And see you again next time.